Enter name. Your name is Dismas Mersive. You have been taken in by a Skull Titan youngling, one of the planet's most rampantly destructive of the plentiful environmental issues at stake. Once thought to have gone extinct after the extensive ancient architectural battles waged against them, and the other varying ultra-beasts of burdening they would frivolously pick fights with. A select few escaped, retreating to burrow deep underground into the planet's core and stay in hiding, surviving solely off the emanating radiation before resurging eons later to breed once more and battle in an attempt to become the king of all monstrosities. Only the weaker miners slightly contemplate taking any caretaker roles in order to be fed the potent irradiated ores they now crave. Not completing these tasks would leave you as good as dead. As such, you are forced to mine at the bottom of your canyon landscape to feed him. But this doesn't mean you aren't one to rebel against authority, an aspiration you've taken a liking to but consistently overestimate your ability to do properly. These mini-rebellions are grounds of territorial abuse to your custodian, and as such you have many scrapes with him. Quite literally, in fact. These poisoned marks would normally kill on principle, but your body has a pseudo-healing factor that mends your wounds, albeit leaving them scarred and disfigured. You are extremely sensitive about this, and as such make sure to cover them up as much as possible. The majority of your time is taken up studying old documentary tapes in order to find a way to murder him and the entire legion of crust abominations soon after. Oh, and sometimes you're forced to play games. Your troll tag is Gigantus Debilitation, and your reserved tone is rather sharp. What will you do? Dismas. Prepare for the end of the world. The world isn't going to be ending anytime soon. Not if you have anything to say about it. Dismas. Examine corkboard. Were the world to end, though, the cause would not be of some cataclysm more than it would be the virtue of a bunch of monsters tearing through the planetary shell with blue hot atomic beams. Close to the likes of you and the majority of the lower blood castes, these creatures have taken their once powerful forms and doubled them over into full-on survival tactics. Though, unlike your caste, they aren't properly utilized for anything except making your life hell. You have a bunch of notes detailing the various powers and battle methods of the creatures you were able to see on film, as well as the methods of fighting them off, testing them out on small-scale training dummies. In the past, the best method was to use mechanized technology to craft controlled fighter savages to fend them off. But these were all decimated, and most techniques from back then are unavailable today. Which is truly a shame. Slime units just do not make for good combat-ready machinery. Dismas. Examine burnt-out ore. You like to sneak these into your guardian's meals when he's particularly ravenous to see if he'll choke. Really, it's not advisable to be touching this or any of what you feed to your Lucis, as the toxicity is through the roof. But over time and disfigured body parts, you've gained a tolerance to the stuff. Dismas. Examine tapes. He managed to find a way to sneak in and tear the place up recently, destroying your most recent finds in the process. This form of video is actually rather obsolete. You're only able to watch them due to your partner having connections with ancient artifacts. This guy is the worst one. You hate him. Dismas. Receive coincidental message from partner. You hate him. You're going to have to answer him on Mobile Scorp with your trilobite. Mobile Scorp is much more clean and compact, but still just as bad as the original, which you can't use anymore after creating a theme you titled Lizard Slaughter Litany, which then proceeded to crash your entire system. Fucking things up for yourself on a constant basis is a really bad habit of yours. Dismas. Answer UK. Unclasped Kahuna began trolling Gigantus Debilitation.
Okay, alright, Mr. Three-Scar General over here. Let me just go ahead and give you the word of the moment so we can keep things nice and clear without going sack deep into the extraneous pissy shitty. We got a film to shoot. This is important because it's gonna be a generational winner, worthy of a planetary crater to call its own, which I know it'll be lucky enough to be getting momentarily. So that's why, once again, you're gonna need to be putting the bandito out of the wild, wild west end of your ass and into your head. Because this is the last time we're gonna be able to really shoot on location, and I want these moves to be rancid nasty. Even went out of the way to lure out a co-star for you, in order to make sure I get served up some primal failure further ruin. And you know you was the official candidate for my 10-10-5-5-1-1 Editary Gilded Statue Award.
No, I'm not going outside right now. Your lame pseudo-critical shooting session can wait a little while. I just left the shit lizard outside not too long ago with a pretty livid attitude. I can still hear him scratching around looking to make a scene, and I'm not interested in getting in his way anytime too soon. Staying locked up for a little while is much better for me right now, honestly. So please, ask me again later.
Nah man, to be honest, there ain't no later in this equation. You're trying to be solving my word riddles again. But there's no possible outcome except for the same fucking end variable I tried to start with. The word form D-I-E.
You're so dramatic. Not dying is exactly why I don't want to go out. What else could possibly be happening right now that is so insanely catastrophic?
Well then, let me speak in a language you might be understanding a little clearer than normal. Keep my verbiage more or less squeaky. Do you remember the story I let you in on about the Boner Man?
Yeah?
How well do you remember it?
Considering all the shit that spews out of your hole, probably very vaguely.
God damn it, how many times am I gonna need to re-explain my life story tonight?
Well, I know you're just gonna say it again anyways, since I clearly don't remember enough. So go ahead.
So... I met him back when I was about 9 cycle passes and some change. A small-bound hustler on the move doing anything he can to pull stack from the waterwork and make a quick pelf off the stupidest fucks on this side of the coast. You gotta be knowing me as a virtual poker man, but a shark's gotta learn to keep moving somewhere, and when I was bottom feeding, all I knew was to bank, and these busted-up rock picture dioramas embedded underneath my aisle. Bunch of hoppity amphibious croaking weirdos I'd never seen before. Some intense spin patterns and flowers in there too, but I didn't care about no purpose, no rhyme, no reason, just chips and De Niro. That was the first appearance of purpose in this little play stage I was unknowingly set up on. That was the morning I was ligament struck into the bone zone.
Yeah, okay, I definitely knew about all your past gambling shenanigans. There was no way for me not to have, seeing as it was a major part of my own problems for the better part of a couple sweeps. I may not remember the full details of a lot of the random filth you tell me, but I'm not forgetting any of the shit you forced me to do back then anytime soon. It's a bit better, but honestly, it's a hell I'm still living in. So the history lesson there was unnecessary. Continue on to the more valuable part that I thought you were going to deliver in the first place.
Don't interrupt this integral tissue mouth. Dude came to me in a dream. Bigger and more sloppy pose than a bulge flopping on a warm slip and slide. Upon our greet, he said he was starting to admire my presence. Though really, I was wondering how empty logic was taken off because it was this static void. The fuck I was walking. Also, why was I allowed to hear him? And why wasn't my fins on the verge of an orchestrated blowout? These were the mysteries of a young me. But it wasn't no big picture show. Without an intro, he told me that I got the chance that'll change my life forever. In exchange, I would get a one-way ticket to a land of shadows and perp, his own slow-crafted design to live out a way of life where I could be the young man I always dreamt of becoming. And shit, boy, you know I accepted, but not without thinking about what exactly all this was to mean for me, because many attempts later, I realized this bony pony doesn't get swindled. He kept his end of the deal regardless, and I think even with my misdeeds, he knew I was gonna have to pull through eventually. And eventually he's now hard skin, got paid in advance. Fact is, no eye skullfuck wasn't holding back on the definition of the ideal self. Place was a dump, but it was there, and I learned the mastery of the 52 hands. Ended up stuck in the company of this man-stick figure who took me in and showed me the ropes to reel in the dopes. We was a walking nightmare on the streets, and with our crew we robbed the joint 12 kinds of blind. Some players called him the scathing sharper, but I knew the man is Jack.
There we go, starting to ring a few bells. Pretty sure all that sounded just as ridiculous the first time around. So how exactly does this relate to us apparently dying?
I'm getting to it.
Well, can you get to it a little faster? For someone who talks as if this is so imperative, you sure are wasting a lot of my time.
You ain't even out here yet, shitlips.
How did you know I was actually coming?
Because you're never not coming at me. For a manlet who demands so much, you do very little work off the norm.
Gross. Also, you're still not telling me what's going on. You should get back to that.
Well, first off, I never said we were dying specific like that. Just saying if you don't comply with me that you're gonna die, along with the rest of the world. Big diff. The message I decoded was actually simple, at least in the general gist. Of course, there had to be a bunch of spooky, scary verbiage of an existentialist horror buff. Upon our very last visitation chat, though, my TV screen that appears to be closer to this running gag of a round glow comedy tour he planned on me, but gist is that this place is gonna wrap inside out into the pits. Pits that'll lick our life plate clean until there's nothing but space dust and regret. However, like all good points in a running plotline, when the going gets tough, there's a loophole ready to make it nice and easy as we inch our way in. Method ain't practical, but then again, neither is our grand finale.
If you're the only one who has all this know-how on what's going on and what to do about it, then why does it have to be something I need to be involved in? Can you never deal with anything without dragging me along with you? What are you about to try and force me to do for you this time?
What I is about to do is save your sorry ass another half ways from the cycle along with every other one of you sorry sad sacks of mashed contractions. We is gonna ride the loophole all the way out of this rig. And you're gonna be the man that gets me in full deep into the mess. In fact, soon you'll be just like me. All of you will. But as of right now, I gotta push the direction of the man. But don't you be worried about that. Got thousands of gears in progression, and I got a majority of the clan shoved into the pile. Right now, though, I'm setting you up with your dream life before the dream life we is gonna share. Better get here quick, D.
I'm almost out. This better be worth it.
What's up?
This was not worth it.
Come on, don't blame me with that. I got at least 3 things that'll make all those few minutes of walking and my obtrusive word jumbles all worth the while. Here, I'll even give you the first deal on the spot right now. Bam! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the sky. Or at least 4. Hit it like in the olden days of me and you your. Of course, it won't be the same. Due to the nature, it's not the routine hours pending classic maneuver we used to pull. But it's the thought that counts. The thought in the hand. No dice, huh? Oh, right. Now, I'm feeling the beats you're pulsing my way loud and clear. We is scaling the wall of the past and heading into the future. And the future is bumping. Okay, now you're just crimming me out. This is tradition. You can't just call off tradition. It's tradition's tradition. I've got no shenanigans prepared for this. All I want is a little skin. Pinky swear, re-enlarging them peeps. Shout me a hell yeah. Give me that finger, and let's truce on it.
Sure. How about this one?
Get that the fuck out of here.
Fucking God. You just had to hit right on the mark, didn't you? How can that ridiculous thing even swat so hard and stay properly afloat? I can't stand it. Doesn't help that I'm staring at nothing but a lens. Bet you feel awfully proud of yourself with that cheap shot sheltered behind your bastardized remote-controlled auxiliary. Not that I'm surprised. Cheap shots are all you're legitimately good for. That and further salting my wounds.
Wah, that's you right now. If you close your deformed maw, maybe I'll find some way to feed you some grubby juice to pacify your incessant need to shit over everything I ever done for you. I got a real neat device that sprouts it right at the chest ovaries for easy peasy supple action.
I couldn't close it no matter how badly I wanted to. Something you just made a bit worse for the moment. But if you've got to give isn't going to be staying put. I'd call that a most accurate representation of what you've done for me.
I've always done so much more for you than you think, bro. Spend some more time being grateful of the mind gifts I give, and then you'll know some wisdoms like no other. Though it seems I haven't even gotten to my other 2 needed in this moment, show-offs. And already you got the tears rolling. That shows you care. Might have misjudged you there for a sec. I think you're getting the message loud and clear. But I can get to the good part now.
Literally, what good part is that? I could have just stayed put and not had to suffer through this once again. Yeah, please, give me a better reason as to why I came all the way out here. So far I got like a sprinkle of currently relevant information at you and a slap to the face. Most of these, except the latter, I'm not sure what to make of right now. You've still neglected to actually tell me what it is we're supposed to be doing. Are you stalling for a timed reveal process?
Yeah, 'cause this needs one.
Stop using those fingers to tap an increasingly loudly fake percussion rumble.
Nah, give it a few more uptones. There. We gonna leave and boldly go where everyone has tried to go before, but never returned to tell their tales. Outside the planet, past into the further beyond.
And where exactly would we go once we make this tremendously unnecessary exodus? There's nothing else out there for us that would do any good. Every expedition to the outer worlds ended only in failure and floating corpses. If this is a big excuse for something, I know that this place sucks. But everything isn't just gonna instantly blow up like you say it is without warning. We can't immediately give up on this planet like the riffraff. It's all we've got. Plus, I still haven't finished figuring out how to remove all the damn skull titans from the surface. I promise this place will be tremendously better once they're gone.
I ain't talking no space travel, some rickety inhabitable planet on the far side of the moon or something. This be a miniature getaway for us ones deemed fit for jobbing it. We got a tiny pocket with 12 names written on it. Just gotta squat up and get there. Follow my lead. Stop pissing over on the small deeds.
You still aren't.
No more words, bottom scale. Allow your syllable vowel mixes to stay dead center. We cite on Phys Info, Deuce Edition.
Dismas. Look up.
What is that?
A prophecy being foretold. What I've been talking on this whole convo.
I still don't understand.
Well, you'll get one last sec to think on it, if you can do that. Might be a little too busy performing our last show. Didn't let Beastie Boy out for you not to fight him, and for you not to get ripped to shreds for the big one last time.
No way. You did not do that. I'm losing all faith in you and anything you say or do, no matter how severe, if you just did that.
SMH, not my fault that you don't know how to roll with priority matters. Oh, speaking of atomic devils, it's your little old man.
Dismas. Look up again. He's really not happy that you locked him out early. He's going to be even less happy when he's dead. You make sure to notify your Kismesis that he'll be next at this rate. The Kismesis, who we briefly met earlier on in the story, tells you that this could have all been prevented if you gave high fives responsibly. You proceed to discern this notion as a crock of shit, to which he agrees and begins to record the action about to take place. This is for the best, as it's time for his introduction proper.